Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Williams here, and this is our Week 18 and Week 19 video reflection for everything that's been going on inside and outside of Room 110 regarding biology and integrated science. Last time I spoke to you, it was our cold weather day on January 6th, last Monday. Today's the 17th, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what happened in Week 18 last week and what's happened in Week 19 this week inside of biology and integrated science. For biology, we completed the cell cycle, our studies over Unit 5 this past Monday and Tuesday with our Unit 5 exam. And students did fantastic. The average test score for our Unit 5 exam was an 82%. C plus on our scale, a B everywhere else in the world. But I was ecstatic. It went really, really well. Now, I'm ecstatic that it was an 82% because we had a limited schedule because of those 2 snow days to start off the beginning of the semester. So we had to condense everything, we had to move at a greater pace, we had to cover the same amount of material, but the students responded well. I had flipped this unit in the past, but because we needed to get through it quickly, we went ahead and took out a couple of items and a couple of activities that we would have done inside the classroom otherwise and filled those in with the notes. So it was direct instruction inside the classroom. I think it benefited the students because it was a little bit of a change of pace from the first semester. Okay, so it was a little bit something new. All right, but it was also there was no confusion. There had to be no time for clarification, and quite frankly, we are still struggling mightily with some students just taking time outside of class to watch the videos. So they had to get the material in this unit because they got it from me directly in class. So a little bit of a double-edged sword there. I'm happy that we did really well. But I'm also still disappointed that we can't apply ourselves outside of the classroom to watch a video, to get some information from it, and then to utilize that class time to do stuff. So we're still struggling with that. It's almost as if we'd rather be boring in class and just sit there and take notes than do things. Sometimes the doing things is a little more complicated. You actually have to apply the information, and therein lies maybe the issue. A little bit with some ambition, a collective level of ambition that is not high enough to maybe pull off that flipped process every single unit, okay? Every single unit. We will still be flipping in the future, and we will be flipping in Unit 6, which is a unit that we began this week, the middle of the week, this Wednesday and Thursday, with White Day and Purple Day. And it is meiosis and genetics. And it is going to take us all the way through the beginning part of February, and it runs in conjunction with 3 other high schools in the state of Kansas: Lawrence High School, Free State High School, also down in Lawrence, and Blue Valley Northwest High School. This is a unit that coincides with the National Science Foundation and University of Kansas Social Media and Scientific Argumentation in the Classroom grant. Extremely long name. As a grant research team, we tried to come up with an acronym for it. We couldn't. Okay, but that grant research project runs with our studies of Unit 6, meiosis and genetics, and there will be a couple of flip videos throughout this unit. Like I said, we started that this past Wednesday and Thursday with biology, and we utilized Twitter right away. Okay, utilized Twitter right away. We actually had this meiosis chromosome number challenge. Meiosis is another form, a specialized form of cellular division. And basically we asked the kids to develop a proposal for what they thought meiosis was. They knew what mitosis was from Unit 5, used that background and that prior knowledge. How do we get a different result but a similar process, okay, in the meiotic realm? So it was kind of fun. 2 of the 4 blocks were really engaged, got really creative, but were very biologically sound. And the other 2 blocks kind of struggled with the process of having that freedom and that creativity, having to kind of think abstractly and out of the box a little bit. But everybody succeeded in posting their proposal, a diagram and a description, online using Twitter, and then using Twitter as a means to conversate about each other's proposals and explanations. Again, a couple of the blocks did really good with this. A couple of the blocks, we struggled a little bit, but the critiquing that was done on each proposal from other groups, really good stuff. And it sets the foundation going forward into the scientific argumentation piece that is Unit 6 and is part of this research grant. Scientific argumentation is all about establishing a claim based on a body of evidence, supporting evidence, and then trying to conversate about each other's claims using supporting evidence. Okay, so in short, it's kind of like what debate would be at the high school and college levels, structured, organized, extracurricular debate. But it's not. It's not a debate because not every situation has a clear-cut right and wrong. All right, because with science we've got that gray area where as long as you've got supporting evidence, yeah, it's plausible. Okay, it's yet to be proven wrong. All right, which goes with our definition of science we've been using the entire school year. So I'm excited to get Unit 6 officially underway. I think the students have responded well in day 1, and I think it will go well for us, and we'll keep you updated with that in future video reflections. As for integrated science, a lot short of an explanation here. We are halfway through Unit 5, our study of the universe. We've knocked out cosmology, so we talked the 3 kind of subparts of cosmology: the origin of the universe, universal structure and composition, and then universal behavior, okay, kind of what's happening across the universe between these objects that compose and provide the structure for the universe. We also have looked at galaxies, and we've talked about the same things regarding galaxies, defined and described what galaxies are, talked about their general structure and function, talked about how they form, talked about how they interact, and we looked at our galaxy, the Milky Way in particular, and several of the other specific locations and points throughout it. With each one of those lessons, we've watched one of the videos from the How the Universe Works series, narrated by Mike Rowe. I'm pretty sure it came through the Discovery or the Science Channel a few years back. During those videos, we are back channeling, and back channeling is an activity that's done using Twitter. We get out the iPads, we log into Twitter, and we carry on a nice silent conversation about the video while we're watching the video. So it doesn't detract from video watching, it enhances the video watching, because you can still see, you can still look up, you can still hear, but if you've got a comment, question, or interesting thought that you'd like to share with people or with me while the video is going on, that's what we tweet out. And that's where the back-channeled conversation comes into play. So instead of having to pause the video and kids writing things down and having to elongate the video watching process, that conversation happens live in real time. And it really does a good job of enhancing the actual video watching period. And I believe it really increases the level of engagement and learning that takes place through those videos. We'll continue to watch these videos. It's one of the major reasons why we are not flipping Unit 5 with the integrated science students, because we're doing a heavy amount of video watching inside of the classroom. But Unit 5 has been going well. We've got 2 lessons left. We're going to be covering stars. We've started covering stars. We're going to finish covering stars over the next couple of class periods. We're going to have a little activity where we analyze and break down and observe the different stages of stellar evolution, the life of a star. And then we're going to finally talk about some of the technology we use to view the universe, to look out into the night sky, to gather that information. And we're also going to talk about the history kind of cosmology and universal studies and astronomy. So that does it for integrated science. Things are going well. Struggling with some kids finishing homework, of course. But we're getting there. We'll keep the nose to the grindstone. Okay? That does it for this little video reflection. Thanks for tuning in. As always, check the Nemaha Valley Science website for up-to-date information about what our students are doing inside this classroom. And any questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns, by all means, please email me or contact me. Thanks for your time, and have a good weekend.